Speaking of getting cooked, there's reports that if Man United don't win this weekend, Ten Hag might get sacked.
United.
But hold on, we've heard this before.
Yeah, we have.
Like, genuinely, like, do you guys believe that these reports now, Man United fans, or that's just hope? Didn't me and you sit and talk about it like before the 2 games of Porto and Aston Villa, and he didn't win neither of those, and then he still stayed in the job? Like, I don't understand. Like, INEOS, what are they doing? What are they waiting for? Why they haven't sacked the guy yet? Because Thomas Tuchel rejected Man United? Is that what happened?
Maybe.
Thomas Tuchel didn't want the job? Who's going to take over Man United? Is it going to be Ruud van Nistelrooy? I don't understand what is happening at Man United. Now the banter, listen, the jokes are over.
People were so adamant he's leaving after Villa.
Yeah, like the banter is over. I promise you I'm not bantering, we're not joking. This is reaching to a point that there has to be questions asked about the decision makers at the club. Like, why are they waiting? This was a brilliant time to sack him and get a new guy in. Like, it's crazy.
It's interesting. If we don't win or we have a bad performance and they sack him after Brentford, I would question the mindset of that. When, as you say, there's been a really clean period to get it done. You know what we have done in the last 2 weeks is we've taken Fergie's salary away for an ambassador role. We have today cancelled the Christmas party to save money for the football club. And I'm not someone that's against all of those. I don't think just because we haven't improved on, I've seen some pundits say, well, they haven't improved on the pitch, so why are they doing things elsewhere? It's like, well, just because we haven't improved on the pitch yet doesn't mean we shouldn't be planning for the new stadium and cost cutting where it's necessary. And I do think we're right to take, listen, I love Eric Cantona, but when he spoke, we've also banned Sir Alex and all the board members from going into the dressing room as well. Have you heard about that? That they're now banned. They can no longer go down there. All of these things I kind of agree with. And I kind of agree with them because that's all been going on. I sort of feel that all the things that have been going wrong in the last 11 years, some of it's financial. We've moaned about how much money with Hemorrhage. Some of it is process-based. I'm not against them changing all those processes. I don't agree with Eric Cantona when he says Fergie's the greatest manager the club's ever had. He should be able to do what he wants, when he wants, however he wants, and be paid for it. Bullshit. I don't necessarily, I don't think that's true. I don't think he should be able to do that. That's why Fergie has very amicably accepted what's gone on. There's no animosity. He's still going to be at the games. He's still going to be involved. He's just going about it differently. But when I read today that if we don't get a good performance and result against Brentford, we'll sack him, strangely, that made me more angry than him still being here. Because my thought is, how is he? I either think we need to come out and say he's getting the season or he's got to be sacked. This whole idea of we're going to take it game by game, where's the continuity?
Garbage. This is garbage.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell you something, the reality. To be honest with you,
I don't get it.
People have to know that Man United are still one of the worst managed club on the pitch and off the pitch as well. I know that the thing about, like, at the current moment, it is having a game by game thing with the manager. It tells me that there's no plan, or they don't know, or there's no manager that wants to take on the job. By the way, we sat here, me and Terry, speaking about the managers that should take over Man United, and until this current moment, we haven't seen the good list. Terry talks about Alonso. He knows he's not getting Alonso because he's gonna go to Real Madrid. Amorim now is linked to Man City. Slot at Liverpool. Inzaghi renewed 1 year at Inter, and it's reported that he rejected. I actually believe they don't know what to do. And they are afraid of giving it to Ruud because they might think it's going to destroy him, like Gerrard, like Lampard at Chelsea. And they don't want to make that decision. And it might be a good decision not to give it to Ruud. I genuinely believe Man United now in the current moment are one of the worst run club in the world now, because the manager is the main thing. At the end, you need the right manager. Otherwise, it's screwed. The players go backward. Number one, he's going to destroy. And I'm going to the last thing. I believe in football, the bad manager might destroy the confidence player. The more it goes, the more a player like Højlund might not come back. Xerxes' confidence might be destroyed. Lisandro Martinez. Diego Dallo's getting worse by the game. Man United fans are not seeing this.
You wanna know what the problem is more truly? I'll tell you honestly what I feel like is the problem. We've had this same conversation probably about 500 times, of which
Yes.
in the summer it was like they're sacking Ten Hag, they're interviewing this guy, they're interviewing that guy. I remember Terry 1 week asked us about McKenna. The week after he asked us about a different manager. The week after a different manager. Last Straight Facts episode, it was Thomas Tuchel. So like all the indicators, all the reports are aiming towards Man United sacking him. The question now becomes, what difference does it make in the long term to Man United if they beat or lose to Brentford?
Okay.
What difference does it make in the is Brentford the Champions League final for Ten Hag now, either win or get sacked? What if a draw happens?
What if he
you're
wins
really-
2-1 by a corner, Osam? What if he
Yeah,
wins
what-
2-1 by a corner? What
Yeah,
would that have?
exactly. Like,
that
what if you're 2-0 down, you come back and you make it 2-2 in the last, like, in the 90th minute of the game, you score 2 goals. Like, this is the thing. It's just very uncertain and unclear. And I feel like there comes a point in time where you either have to say, listen, I'm with him till the end of the season, or just sack him and move on. That's it. Stop lying to yourself and giving people chances and all that shit. It's
Yeah.
just illogical.
I understand that. What I am going to say is this, though. One thing I find ironic is it isn't just you that said this, Mo. I've seen this from pundits who have seldom called out Man United's owners in the last 15, 16, 17, 18 years. Worst run club in England. I've seen professional pundits say it. I've seen journalists say it. And then I've gone and searched how many times they've said this about the Glazers in the last 2 decades. I can't find articles. I can't find moments. I'm not suggesting you haven't, but talking about them. I find it really ironic that there's so many good things that INEOS are currently doing. There's so many good things that they're currently doing for the club. I am still in a position, and I'm going to get laughed at for saying this. I'm going to get called it's copium. I'm going to get saying it's blind faith. I am not turning my back on what INEOS are trying to do. I agree that right now in this Ten Hag situation, it is confusing. It looks like there is no plan, and I understand the criticism. However, the hardest thing as a Man United fan to do right now is to still turn around and say, I'm keeping faith in this club rebuild. I'm not talking about just how we play on the football pitch. I'm talking about the overarching situations that are currently going on at the football club. I am going to stand by INEOS. Now, if they don't turn this around, if it gets worse, if we never improve, then I'm going to have egg on my face. Then I'm going to be told you shouldn't have backed them. But I think it's very easy right now as a Man United fan. And I show my frustration because I am confused. But the easiest thing to do right now, because it's a comfort blanket, is to say, I don't agree with their decisions. I don't like what they're doing. Do you know what? They're frauds. I'm turning my back on them. They're as bad as the Glazers. Nothing's ever going to improve. Nothing's ever going to get better. Screw them. Because that is a comfort blanket. It cushions you. It becomes a barrier, protection from rivals, from other people criticizing your football club. Because they're like, do you know what, Terry gets it. Terry thinks they're rubbish as well. We'll leave him alone. When I actually don't think, I'm not agreeing with every decision. So don't think I'm sitting here being extremely polarized and sort of die hard with them, where I'm not able to accept criticism. I don't understand what and why they're doing it. But I do believe they're going to make Manchester United, over a 4 to 5 year period, as I've always said, a much better footballing team on the pitch, a more well-run football club day to day. We'll get new stadiums, and I think we'll get ourselves back to somewhere near the top. However, I do understand the criticism, and I have said that. It doesn't make any sense to me. I would rather hear them say, we are giving him the rest of the season to turn it round, than what they're doing now. At least then we'd understand. However, as many people tell me, Terry, they're never going to tell you their plans. They're never going to make you understand. It isn't their job to do that. And that is also fair, because I find it really interesting. On Monday's Top 6 show, Will, the Real Madrid fan, said that the next team to win the Premier League outside of City will be Chelsea. And a few people on the panel and in the comments agreed. So I can see that, because City are probably going to win it the next year or two. And by then, Chelsea are going to be this team that wins it. But all that's telling people that about Chelsea is what they've seen so far this season. This is the same Chelsea with the same owners, with the same structure, that were being laughed at in the summer, laughed at this time last year, laughed at this time 2 years ago. Suddenly they start the season well, and wow, look at the turnaround. And this is why I'm not going to be too knee-jerk with INEOS. Because say we do sack Ten Hag after this weekend and we bring in manager X, and for the next 4 or 5 months we look like we're playing really good football, what you also won't see me do is say, we're fixed, we're back. Because there's going to be peaks and troughs in the next 4 or 5 years. So I just think Man United fans have got to remain very level-headed when it comes to INEOS and what's going on with them right now. Doesn't mean you can't criticize. Doesn't mean you can't say, I don't like this decision. But what I'm not going to do is throw baby out with the bathwater yet, because there's so much of what they're doing that has been very good. I can't imagine that they're going to keep getting it wrong with the management in the same way that it looks like Clear Lake have finally got it right. Now, I hope it don't take 2 seasons. I hope it doesn't take 2 years, but
Or
I'm
1
just not
billion.
prepared. I am just not prepared to turn my back on them yet and throw baby out with the bathwater. Doesn't mean though, boys, I don't agree with some of your criticism, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. This is fair. This is fair. And I don't think a game against Brentford should be the defining moment either. That's what I'm saying.
Basically, you're telling Man United fans, know your place and wait. Know your place. Know where you are now. Don't expect
the show about
greatness.
something I never said. Please.
This is what it is. Know your place.
Publicly that you like to twist people's words. I don't want my words to be twisted at the end of a show.
This is what Sam just said. Know your place. Wait. You aren't
I
a big
said
club now.
Ireland is supposed to be
You aren't
Brentford.
a big club. Beating Brentford doesn't change anything. That's what you're just saying, bro. That's what you're saying.
Beating
Enjoy your
Brentford
last
doesn't
dance.
Anything actually shows that they're a big club.
It doesn't. It doesn't change anything. And the problem with Man United fans is that
So he agrees with me. Look at this guy.
I do. I absolutely do agree with you. I said Man United are Man United. I don't want to say the word finished, but if Ten Hag stays, I think every season that Ten Hag is every 2, 3, 4 weeks stay, it sets them back 1 more year behind. That it would,
No,
it would require more.
I don't think it does set us back a year each time. And the reason I say that is because, again, we've had a couple of shows this in the last week or so where the comments from either people on the show, because you know the titles are not always titled after my opinions that United have finished. But if we bring in a new manager and we start playing well, nobody will say we're finished. Now, Chelsea was considered finished at the beginning of the season. Now people are saying they could be in the title race. It can change quickly. So I'm not sitting here believing that Man United are never going to get back to the top, that Man United can't turn this around. I don't even think our squad is anywhere near as bad as people are making it out. This is a team that's won 2 trophies in the last 2 years and a squad that came 3rd just 2 seasons ago. And I think we've made the squad better in that time. The manager's got to go, no doubt about it. The board have got to make that decision. I just hope there is a method to their madness that none of us can see yet, and only time will tell. This here from Maradon says, telling us how good the backroom staff has been, ever seeing it now. It just looks like Woodward, more suits, more these clowns. I mean, Maradon, look, again, I just think you're wrong, my friend. I do think we've done a lot of good things at the club. It isn't the same. The investment alone that's come in from the new people compared to the Glazers makes them different. So the comparison's off, my friend. Play the season out. Get Don Carlo next summer. I wouldn't mind a bit.
I don't think Ancelotti fixes Man United, but fine.
No, I hear that. I told you last year he'd have a year, and they are doing. And you'll bring in Southgate. You said I was mad. Mark my words. Have you bought a shirt yet? What
That's
shirt?
crazy. If you look at Southgate,
I haven't bought a Man United shirt yet. I won't buy Man United stuff still until I've seen or heard or read from a credible source of a plan for the Glazers to be bought out entirely. I'm not going to do it. Mo and Hassam are really like an old couple. Yeah, you do find out.
I'm married, bro. I'm married.
yes, and he's the nagging wife that never shuts the hell up and always twists your words.
Actually, that's not true. I'm a married guy. The beautiful wife. You're not.
Yeah, you're just my word.
I love this comment here that just came through that says Terry is pandering, but it isn't pandering, is it? That's not. I don't think what I'm doing constitutes pandering. I'm criticizing things I don't like. I'm praising things I do like, and for now, I'm making a conscious decision to overall support what they're doing. If I end up being wrong, I'll hold my hands up and admit I was wrong. That isn't pandering. And generally, when you pander, you're doing it because you want something in return. INEOS are not watching this. I don't want nothing in return from them, other than I suppose my football team to be better. But it's not something personal. So yeah, I don't think you're saying the right thing there. Last super chat on this. You said starting 11, only 2 changes to that 11. One of which you said was average. Stop hiding behind last season.
You're so boring, Jill. No, man. Last season, Fofana didn't play. 3/4 of this team was injured, man. There was no Nkunku. There were so many players that didn't play last season.
Terry, was TT on the list of managers you wanted? you wanted for United. Yes, he was on my list of managers that I would have taken. So yeah, I'm gutted to see him go.
You argued for him last week.
I'm gutted to. I'm happy to see him in England, but I'm gutted that Man United maybe are not going to be able to get him. Terry, when INEOS keep Ten Hag until the end of the season, will you be INEOS out? What if they extend his contract? Straight answer, no waffle. Depends on the results. Depends on how we're playing. If they keep him and they were right and he turns this round, all of us, including me, would have, and I think the boys would admit, say they keep him for the season, and by the end of the season, we are cooking, we win trophies, we look amazing, we'd all just have egg on our face and would say, well done. If they keep him till the end of the season and we finish 14th and they give him and they extend his contract, I would definitely be looking at their decision making and saying, I think they've got to go. What are they? You know, we're in a relegation battle here and they give him a new deal. So again, context is key on this, but potentially is the answer. That's not waffle, by the way. I think I would call that a comprehensive answer. No apologies. Sam is the only one not allowed to change his opinions on Chelsea, no matter what. I plan on cooking all season.
Wallahi, Blaze, you're a legend. Legend.
Then
For this
I love Blaze. Big up Blaze.
Liverpool comes to the fire and does, and it switches off.
I'm getting worried in INEOS because they come with a point where it is just unacceptable. If it isn't good enough for Southampton, why should we accept it? Been near the bottom around November and December. Listen, I'm not arguing with those points. I think those points hold a lot of water, my friend. I do. Look, I want to thank every single person that's tuned in.